Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fantasy Island, a series where my friend Blockdown and I each have our own islands to transform into the ultimate medieval kingdoms. In the last episode, we built up this amazing medieval village, complete with tons of modded villager types. And in between episodes, I went caving to find a bunch of these campsites that can have the artifacts because I wanted to find a villager hat. And in this village, I eventually did. And this villager hat has some very special properties, which is why I wanted it. It decreases the trading prices of villagers, so it's basically like having permanent hero of the village. And we are going to take advantage of this today because I want to upgrade our tools and armor. But first, let's hitch up our trading llamas over here that we stole from a wandering trader, as I feel like they fit the village a little bit more than the boat over by my base. Now, last episode, as you can see, I pretty much used up all of the durability on my diamond pickaxe and my diamond axe. They are basically broken. So using this villager hat, we're going to be able to trade for diamond tools and armor really cheap from our villagers. No zombification required. I do want to go ahead and get a couple more emeralds, so let me go ahead and trade with these guys really quick. And right upstairs we have our armorer villager, and we should have some cheaper trades. Wow, okay, 22 down to 2 and 14 down to 1. That is ridiculously cheap. We will take that. And now he's leveled up and we've got a diamond helmet and chestplate for 1 and 3, and that's really not bad. Let's go ahead and get all this new armor on, and here we are, all blue and shiny. It only has unbreaking and protection 1, but I mean, it's better than nothing. And right around the corner, we actually have our toolsmith villager, and I don't think we need a weaponsmith since we have this awesome claymore. That was perfect timing. All right, we are gonna have to level him up, so let's go ahead and buy one of these efficiency 2 and breaking 2 axes. And we'll take an efficiency 1 shovel, and then I guess we'll have to buy a bunch of cheap stuff just to level him up again, so we'll take all these iron pickaxes. And now he has a silk touch pickaxe for only 3, so I'm gonna buy 2 of these, I think. I've actually never had a silk touch trade before like this, so that's actually pretty exciting for me, but yeah, this should hold us over until we are able to do some enchanting. Oh my goodness. Really? Right now, Shrine? Hold on, let me go to sleep first at least. I don't want to die on my way over there. I do want to stop at home though, so I can show you all the other goodies I found in the mines as well. The first one being this pickaxe heater, which automatically smelts the mined ores. I also got this cloud in a bottle, which gives you a double jump. It's actually so cool. And of course, how could I forget the superstitious hat, which gives us an extra level of looting, which I'm just going to keep in my backpack for now, and I'll swap to it when I need it. All right, let's go over to the shrine, and the turtle stack is growing. I am not even going to ask. And is there a new task? Yep, it looks like the shrine wants our attention once again. In the deepest dungeons of the darkest caves, adventurers weary of an early grave. A fragment of magic from the spawner shall bring you rewards of the highest honor. Okay, so a dangerous mission to the caves. It sounds like this is going to be great. This mine entrance is still kind of messy. I really need to fix this actually. But right over there's a big cave entrance that I found that I think we'll probably be able to find a spawner in. I've got to be honest though, I'm not really 100% sure what a fragment of magic from a spawner is supposed to be. I've never actually found a magical fragment from a spawner, so it must be a modded item. And you know, while we're down here, we'll look for some more mobs with backpacks because I will never pass up a free backpack and more loot. Honestly, there's just something so satisfying about wearing these kitty slippers and having the creepers run away from you. It is so funny. Honestly, I try not to mine too much of my ore that's down here because we don't have fortune yet, but that should be coming hopefully this episode because I think I want to make an XP farm in an enchanting area. Not that I need the levels, but probably will for like mending up my stuff. Oh, and I definitely want to add this lucky hat back on so we get more items from our mobs. This is also a perfect opportunity to try the pickaxe heater, so this should be smelted, and it was! We got 12! Oh, that's so cool. We could save so much coal this way. I'm not gonna lie, wandering around in these caves, I'm so confused about where I've been and not been. I thought that was a spawner. Oh my god, there's a spawner right there. Okay, perfect. Let's light this up. Anything magical in the chest? Not really. Another one of these dungeon maps. I think that we're definitely gonna have to figure out what this is. Okay, since nothing came from the actual chest, maybe we should try to break the spawner? I don't know if this is gonna work, but that's the only other thing I can think of. Otherwise, we're gonna have to go find a bunch of different spawners. All right, here goes nothing. Whoa, what is that? It is a spawner fragment. Whoa, okay, it looks like you can actually use these to make inactive spawners, which I'm assuming are like survival spawners? This is all from the Spawners Plus mod, so let's go ahead and search for that. And then it looks like we have all of these different little souls? Okay, so they don't have a recipe, but you can actually use them to craft other things like a drowned soul. I guess the same would be for skeleton, for stray, and wither skeleton. I don't know how we're gonna get those souls, but I hope we can figure it out. And in any case, we should probably return to the shrine after we get those diamonds over there. This is exciting. I hear lava bubbling behind there. I'm afraid that these are trap diamonds, but looks like we're okay. But yep, there was a lot of lava there. Oh my goodness. We are gonna leave. But all right, task 1 done for today. Let's go head over to the shrine and see what reward we get if this is what they want. All right, I hope this is what you actually wanted, shrine. It's quite literal, but let's see. Oh my gosh, yes, we did it. Let's see what the shrine has for us this time. Wait, this just gave us some spawners. It gave us 4 different ones. They're all inactive. And then what is this book enchantment up here? This is the soul stealing enchantment, and it has a chance of dropping certain mobs' souls on kill. So I guess the shrine and I agree that we need an XP farm badly. I think we should add this to our claymore and then probably start hunting some mobs. Ugh, down into the caves again. Okay, and here's our first skeleton. Let's hope that we get a soul from him. Sadly, nothing. Okay, creepers can have souls too. Maybe we can get a creeper soul. No. Endermen don't have souls, but zombies do. Can I get your soul? No. Maybe I'll just hunt mobs down here in the cave because this place had a ton of mobs last time. So far, I've been pretty unlucky, but here's a nice little group, so let's hope. I think that these souls are probably pretty rare. And this last one, nope, no souls dropping down here. No, come back here, Mr. Creeper. I need your soul, please. But you didn't have one either. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to spend some time down here farming, and if I get one, I'll bring you guys back. Alright, I've killed quite a few mobs down here and I haven't gotten anything, so I think I'm gonna head up to the surface and think about what our next move is gonna be. Okay, I've been having a walk around my island and I think what I'm gonna end up doing is asking Blockdown for help when he's online. But while we wait for him, I want to get a couple things ready for the XP farm. Oh no! Turtles! Turtles! Go! 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 Jeez! What the heck? I cannot believe the turtle stack was taking a ton of damage and oh my god, I'm killing a bunch of fish too. I'm so sorry. I don't have my boating license. Anyways, a couple of things that we're gonna need are some iron sheets because I do want to get some blazes and some blaze burners so we can make brass. And we'll just leave that there and take this. We did actually bring over more iron than we're getting from that. And in the meanwhile, let's go ahead and actually make up some blaze burners and then we'll head over to the nether. I do want to take a more modded approach to our XP farm this time around, and I think I want to be able to automate XP and mob drops with the create mod. So we're going to need a deployer and I'm going to craft some rotation speed controllers too. And I guess while saying all of that is just a fancy way to say I'm going to need a lot of brass. So let's go ahead and capture these blazes. Just one more. I think that'll be okay. There we go. And I think while we're here, we'll probably try to get some quartz too. What is that? I've never seen this thing before, but I know that I hate that. This kind of weird mushroom tree here. I wonder what this is. Mushroom fir stem. So it looks like you can make a log by combining them. And it will also turn into planks, which is good. And it looks like they're really, really blue. Wow. Oh my gosh, I actually really love these. Wish I hadn't decided on bricks for my kingdom because this color blue is so beautiful. It says that the seeds grow on nether mycelium, so I'm going to take some of this back to Blockdown. And I just want to get a little bit more quartz. Probably going to need it for a bunch of electron tubes. Okay, this is kind of awkward, but I stopped recording after that last scene because I wasn't going to record me coming out of the nether, but I killed a piglin that had a backpack that kind of looks like a piglin, and it has the snout armor trim in it. And I think if we put together a few gifts, some may say bribes for Blockdown, he might help us try to collect some mob souls. Whoa! Hey, sailor!
Yo, good parking.
Wait, you look a little bit weird. You kind of look like a ram or a goat or something.
Yeah, I got some new armor.
Wow, and a new sword too.
Uh-huh. So, what are you doing at my place? You need something?
Yes, I came bearing a gift. I was just in the Nether, and since I noticed that you don't have any armor trims, I got this one for you.
Snout armor trim? What are you trying to say?
That well, you got the animal horn, so it kind of works, right?
I don't want to ruin my armor with your stinky snout armor. Also, this armor's actually kind of better.
You look really cool. You definitely don't look weird.
No. I'm assuming what you want from me is probably dangerous, right? If you're giving me stuff for my armor.
I explained my shrine task to Blockdown, and I showed him the inactive spawners. I handed over the soul stealing enchantment to him, and then I bribed him with some extra goodies, and he agreed to help me find some mob souls. We set out in Blockdown's ship to find a dungeon he'd found before. And after boating and walking for a super long time, we finally found the structure that Blocky was talking about, a giant dungeon. Once we broke in, we saw that this place was completely infested with cobwebs and spiders. And luckily for me, there was a bunch of spawners here too, so I could collect some more fragments. And finally, after killing so many spiders, I ended up getting 1 spider soul. And then we found this big like spider lair thing with all these cobwebs and stuff. I was so scared. And since there was only spider mobs in that dungeon, we decided to go caving to try to get the other mob souls too. But I think that dungeon must have been taking up the entire mob cap because there were no mobs spawning. Then we decided to head to the surface and try to hunt mobs during the nighttime. This was a little bit more lucrative. And when the sun finally rose, I met back up with Blockdown and he gave me a bunch of the souls that he'd collected. And after such a long night, we both sat in silence while we boated back home. Alright, now with all those shenanigans out of the way, let's see our total haul from all of those mob kills. We broke enough spawners to craft another one. And we got a bunch of souls. I think the souls replace a spawn egg if you've ever kind of made one of these in creative before. So for now, I'm just going to put these away. And since I want to focus on an XP farm and an enchanting setup this episode, I think we probably better decide where we want to put it. Now, in my brain, I've kind of reserved this higher up area over here for our winery, our vineyard that I want to build. And this other side towards the shrine, I think is going to be where the actual castle sits, like right through all of these woods here. And in between all of those things, I think it's going to be like a plaza. So maybe it could go out here in the plaza. This area is going to need a ton of terraforming and chopping down all these trees though, so I think that's what we should do next to see what kind of space we're working with. Alright gang, here we are a short while later and a pretty much almost broken shovel. But this whole section of the island is now free of trees and easy to build on, and I've placed out some blocks where I think I want everything to go. This side over here is actually going to have the 9x9 for the mob farm, so this is going to be the bigger section of the build. And then I imagine this little middle section here as some kind of entryway. And this section over here is going to probably be storage for all the drops and XP and probably the enchanting too. But we are going to need a lot of tinted glass for this. So I think we'll go ahead and buy a fortune book from our librarian. Or we would if I had enough emeralds. Now we can afford one. Let's grind off Silk Touch. And then we'll go ahead and add our Fortune 3 book in our anvil. Now I've seen quite a few geodes down here. Oh, now that we have Fortune 3, we can grab this iron too. Yep, there it is. Oh wow, all the crystals are already grown too. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and fortune all of those up. I think we need like 10 stacks of glass, so this might take a while. But I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the amethyst and probably all the calcite too, so that way the crystals have more room to grow. Okay, here's the other amethyst that I have already been to. And we'll go ahead and fortune all these as well. Oh wait, this one collided with the mine shaft. This is so cool. Wait. What? There's a chest too? This is so cool looking. Oh my gosh. All right, let's check the chest. Another mithril drill. Ooh, looting 3. That probably would have been helpful earlier. And now to collect some more amethyst shards. Oh, what is this? Oh, my inventory's full. 1 second. Goal reached. Shiny like the space dragon. Underwater expeditions. Raw aquarium. Aquarium ingots. That gives you natural aqua affinity, and there's also a tide singer upgrade. I don't know what that is though. I think I still need a couple extra stacks, so I'm gonna finish mining out this geode and probably just AFK here for a little bit, guys. All right, 8.5 stacks of tinted glass later. I think this hopefully should be enough. Luckily, we have 2 very close by in case we need to go get more. Next, we're gonna go ahead and grab some of our zinc and some copper. And you know what? We'll probably grab a little bit of coal too. And you know what? We're gonna need some gold sheets too. And we're gonna head over to Blocky's Island because he has a little create workshop that we can borrow. Oh, it's pretty dark over here. I should probably sleep. And then right past this field of flowers that is the iron farm, there is a brass making workshop. Oh, there's some in here. All right, let's go ahead and make some more to return to Blockdown what we already took. And then before we head back home, we can go over and use his press. I just don't really want to make a create workshop. I really don't want that on my side of the island. And now we get the riveting task of watching these press. And letting it finally do some of the last couple of ingots we need, which are brass. And I'm gonna steal just a tiny bit of iron because I'm probably gonna end up needing it. All right, let's go ahead and craft up a create wrench. And we're gonna need to make some deployers which require electron tubes. So I'm gonna need to go and find my quartz. Where did I put it? Good question. There we go. And with sand and paper, we can make sandpaper. Then we combine our quartz and our redstone to get rose quartz, which we can then sand down to get polished rose quartz with our sandpaper. And then we can craft up our tubes. I just realized that I don't have enough brass sheets to make everything that I'm going to need to make, so I'm going to have to unfortunately make a create workshop. Getting off on a little bit of a tangent this video, but I promise I'll make it quick. See, I told you guys I would make it quick, and it should be pressing. Yeah, there we go. Now let's go ahead and craft up our brass hands, and then we're gonna need some deployers, and then we'll pop these down, and we're gonna make some depots for underneath. And then the first one's gonna need a cogwheel, the second one needs a large cogwheel, and the third one needs an iron nugget. And now with our golden sheet placed down, we can go through the very long process of making a precision mechanism. But don't worry, after we get through these 3 initial steps together, I'm gonna speed it up for you guys because this is taking a long time. Okay, please don't break. Yes, there we go, our first precision mechanism. And while we're here, I'm just gonna make a couple more of these so that way I don't have to make them later. I'll be right back. The last thing we need is to strip down these logs and right-click our brass ingot on them to make brass casing. Now we can finally make those rotation speed controllers. This is such a powerful tool, and if you're unfamiliar with it, it basically allows you to set the speed and the direction of the rotation. I almost forgot that we're also going to need a bunch of kelp for belts. And we'll get that smelting down in our furnaces. Now we can craft it up into belts. And I need just a little bit more andesite casing to craft up some more components that we're going to need for this farm. Definitely going to need some propellers. And I'm going to make these all into some encased fans, but I'm going to get the rest of this crafted and then I'll bring you back when we're ready to start setting up the farm. Alright gang, a short while later and I think we're finally ready to start putting in the XP farm. As you can see, I've added a floor where the mobs are going to fall down onto and then get pushed into this hole. And to push the mobs, we're actually going to be using these encased fans. To power all of these, I'm going to add some encased chain drives on the back and we're going to add an extra one to get the power routed up. Now I'm just going to dig out this small space down here for some water wheels. And let's go ahead and lay out all 8 of these. And then we'll start adding the water. And here's our last one. Oh, whoops. Okay, let's just block that off. We'll put down our controller and then we're going to get our power going up. In FreeCam, we can see that our fans are powered. They're not quite strong enough though, so let's go ahead and speed this up to like 90. Oh yeah, that's much, much better. But of course, I do want to just test it out really quick to make sure that it actually works. And thankfully, it looks like it's going to make it. Nice. And we can cover this up for now. I don't think we need to go back down there. I did forget something in the nether though, so let's sleep. Oh, what is this? And luckily, just up ahead, there's a patch of glowstone, which of course I'm going to vein mine all of it. And oh gosh, there's hoglins and I made them very, very mad. Go away. Just get out of here. And back at our island, let's grab my redstone, and then I want to craft up a couple of redstone lamps. And this is so we can have an on-off switch. So we're going to make a lever as well. Gonna need a bit more brass casing to make some redstone links. And with that made, we can make up 4 redstone links. We only need 3. And we're going to use those redstone links later, but right now I'm just digging out a little bit of an area that we can... I just broke a diamond shovel. I've broken an entire diamond shovel that I bought at the beginning of this episode already. Anyways, this is going to be the area where the mobs drop down and get killed. We'll go ahead and run a belt in here in the hole, and then they'll fall down to that deployer, and that's where they'll get killed. And we are going to have to get power to this belt, so let's go ahead and try to link up to our other power that we have over here. Should be pretty easy. And we'll put in a couple of shafts. I think it's just off. Yeah. All right, a couple of cogwheels should do it. Oh, that's spinning the wrong way. Okay, gearboxes it is. There we go. So if we're a mob, we're going to get pushed down into this, and then we will fall down onto this cobble, which will actually be the kill chamber. I'm going to build our kill chamber out of tinted glass. I guess you could use regular glass too, but I think the tinted looks cool. And of course, we'll need to get some power down here as well. And a short while later, it's sort of working, I think. I've got to figure out all the belts and stuff though, so I will be right back. All right, I'm kind of ashamed to admit this took me so long, but the items are going to travel along these belts, and then they're going to go upstairs into the building where there's going to be a chest right there. We're just going to need a couple of brass funnels and a list filter, and I'm going to make a sophisticated barrel, but I'm going to upgrade this barrel first to iron, then gold, and then diamond. And the diamond barrel's huge, but it also has a bunch of upgrade slots. And inside those upgrade slots, we're going to add some stack upgrades. I just need to grab a little bit of iron to make the second tier, so these will allow us to hold a lot more items in one slot. So I only made 3 stack upgrades because we're going to actually make the 4th upgrade slot into a void upgrade, and this will allow us to automatically like get rid of all of the bows and armor and stuff. Now inside of the void upgrade, we're going to put everything that we don't want to get voided. So we're going to do some iron because I think zombies can drop iron by the deployers. And then we'll do carrots, and they can drop potatoes as well, right? Okay, and then the barrel's going to be here, so let's go ahead and add our funnel onto the back. And now with all of our upgrades dropped in again, as you can see, I set up our void upgrades so that it'll allow our skeleton stuff and our XP. And I don't know if backpacks can drop, but I put those in here too. And with the collection system all handled, I think it's time to go ahead and put in our tinted glass. Okay, well, it's looking like a big tinted glass box, and I want to install the on-off switch, so I'm going to turn off the power really quick. Then I'm going to add the redstone link, set the code, and turn it to receiving mode. For now, I'm going to put the actual on and off switch here, and then flicking the lever actually turns the redstone lamps on and off. So when the lights are on, the farm will actually be off, and now we can put in our spawners. And then here in the center, I'm going to bring down some glass so that way I can attach the mob spawners to them and they don't get stuck on top. And then we'll go ahead and add our spawners. This part is really, really scary. I know that I don't have to be afraid, but I am a little bit afraid. Let's close up this hole really quick and then turn on the lever on the other side, and let's hope that this works. Oh, we've already got some spawns. This is cool. All right, all right. They're going down onto the belt, and then they should all be going into where the deployer is. Although it does appear that the skeletons are aggroing on the deployer, but there's some loot there. This is good. Yeah, the skeleton shooting at the deployer is getting the mobs stuck, so I'm gonna have to turn that setting off in the create config, but let's make sure that our barrel works, and already we have a bunch of stuff. This is good. I'm gonna go get that figured out, and I will be right back. Alright, it's the next day in real life, and the skeletons are all fixed now, so our deployer is working perfectly, but Blockdown sent me a message that he actually got a mending villager. So let's grab our hat and go buy a couple of mending books. He didn't say how much they cost, but it looks like they're only 1 with the villager hat. That's amazing. I do want to go ahead and get a bunch of emeralds really quickly, just because I want to buy a bunch of mending books so we don't have to worry about it later. And right after we enchant our gear later on, we can just put mending right on them. And now that we have all of these emeralds, let's go ahead and buy a bunch of mending books. I'm going to need at least 4 for my armor, and then a couple more for tools. I'm probably might as well just buy as many as I can, right? I also have made a little tiny bit of an upgrade to our XP farm, as I was able to use one of the creeper souls now that these skeletons don't get aggroed on the deployer anymore. When I tested this in creative, they kept blowing up my system, but now that we have the create config changed so that skeletons don't aggro on the deployer, we can have creepers go into the farm as well. The most exciting thing about having all of this stuff though is that we are getting a ton of nuggets of experience, and this is how we're going to repair our tools and get all of our XP from now on. And I'm just happy that it's all working. Oh gosh, the shrine again. All right, you big silly rock, what is it that you want this time? The shrine called forth a quest to start. Build an enchantment area with skill and art. In return, upgraded magical gain, a powerful item forged of the arcane. Let me get this straight. Does this shrine want us to build an enchantment area and an XP farm in the same episode? I mean, I already had a pretty hefty grind from this shrine this time. So I propose that we try to cheese this a little bit. So let's grab our books. We'll craft an enchanting table. And we'll craft up a bunch of bookshelves as well. And then we'll go ahead and slap this down into place, and then we'll have an enchantment area for our task. Get the last few bookshelves in. And there we go, level 30 enchanting. Well, and after everything we went through to get those mob souls, I'm really glad that this was an easy task. All right, Mr. Shrine, I am back and I have built you an enchanting setup, so... Huh? What? No, I did it. Okay, I guess the shrine was taking with skill and art a little bit literally. So you really mean this, that I have to decorate it? I have to build something around it? All right. I literally cannot believe that I just tried to argue with a piece of rock. Well, I guess the first step to getting this all taken care of is going to be to put a floor in here. So I'm going to quickly do that really fast. And I think we're just going to do a spruce floor. And once we get this floor all placed in, I think I'm actually going to start working on the build around this. That way I know how much space that we're going to have to actually build up our enchantment area. Yeah, let me go get some materials and then we'll start building. All right, the bones of our structure are in, but as you can see from behind me, it still needs a lot of details. It's looking a little bit plain in a lot of places. And the first thing I want to tackle is this doorway because it looks a little bit awkward. And I think we can fix that with some copycat stairs and some daub with the all-around frame. And I think that looks a little bit better. And we'll repeat that back here as well. And I think that helps a lot. Next up, I want to go ahead and add some lanterns. Even though we have the effects of the mob torch here, I feel like for ambiance, we should still add some lighting, especially with the color lighting in these shaders. I also want to start dressing up our windows with some of these spruce flower boxes, and I actually love these. I used these a lot in the last series too. And then just like in the village last time, I do want to add some blue orchids to these flower boxes just for a little bit of a different kind of pop of color. Also, this macaw's mosaic glass is absolutely gorgeous. I love that it has like that mossy kind of flowery look. It looks amazing. Under the big window up here, we can put some azalea leaves. And then I think to bring some color here, I actually want to put some bricks instead of just the spruce. So we'll just pop on a mix of these mossy and regular brick ones. And I hope that that helps and makes it look a little bit more interesting. And actually, I think it does. I think that works. To separate the stone from the daub bits, I'm actually going to run some spruce slabs around this whole thing. Not there, but actually at the top of the stone part. And we've got to do that all the way around the build on all the sides. And then I think hanging a couple of lanterns here from the top will actually help with how dark it looks at night around here. I just want to add a little bit of leaves out here just to add a little bit of extra to the front because it is such a big and awkward build because you had to have the whole XP farm inside there. But let's go ahead and go inside and work on our enchantment area so we can finish up our task. And this room needs a lot of work. I think let's start in here with a ceiling. And then over here in this corner, we'll add some access with these ladders. And yeah, for now, I'm not going to put anything up here, although I will put a couple of lanterns just so there's some light in the windows. And I think we should add some light over here on the table, and we'll just add a slab there because who's even going to notice anyways? And then actually around the table, I want to change out some of this floor for some amethyst. I think the amethyst block will look really, really magical in here. And let's take a step back and see. I actually really love that. And we can add some of these clusters I accidentally mined up with my Soul Touch pickaxe earlier. Now, I do have a couple of enchanted books I found, but they're not that great. So you can stack these up with the supplementaries mod, and then it looks so magical. I love that. Then for some shelving, I want to add these wooden wall racks. And we'll go ahead and we'll put a crystal on that one, and then maybe another one here on the floor. No build of mine is truly complete without some flower pots and some flowers scattered about, so let's go ahead and add those. And then I did get some green wool from our sheep so that I can make these green sofas. So I think we'll add a couple right here just for the on and off switch, so if you want to AFK you can sit down, and then we'll add the other ones in here, so maybe like a 2 and a 2. Oops, I did not mean to sit. On second thought, that looks a little bit cluttered, so let's go ahead and try, maybe one there, and then another one, I guess right here, like a single. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. So since the last episode, I actually realized that if you put the logs in here, there's a lot more things that you can actually make, so let's go ahead and make these item shelves. Maybe we can add like a couple of enchanted books or something into these. Honestly, this sawmill, aka a woodcutter, is just like the best thing we've ever played with. It is so convenient just to make a bunch of decorations really fast. It's a little bit cluttered, but honestly, I really like that, and I think we should go see if this is good enough for the shrine now. Alright, shrine, I'm back and I have built up your enchanting area and made it all pretty, so I hope that you're satisfied this time, because otherwise I don't really know what you want from me. Alright, moment of truth. Oh, thankfully. Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and see what this is. Whoa, the advanced enchanting infuser. This says choose, modify, and remove enchantments for your gear and repair your gear with levels. Is this like an OP enchanting table? If this is like a super powerful enchanting table, I think it's kind of cool that the shrine wanted me to prove that I can make a regular one first. You know, the more that I learn about this magical shrine, the more curious I get. Why is it even helping us? I guess the theories can wait though, because I have 61 levels and I really want to try this new enchanter. Oh wait, I don't have any lapis, and we normally need lapis, so let me grab some. There we go, lots of lapis. We'll just take a bunch of this over there. And you know what? I did find some anvils in those campsites in the caves, so I'm gonna grab those too. Before we place down our infuser, I definitely want to add some curtains here because I forgot to add them earlier. And then let's put one anvil here, and then we do have another one, which I can just throw up there for now. All right, and let's go ahead and actually just enchant something regularly. Bane of Arthropods 5 and Efficiency 4. That is kind of terrible. Let's remove the old enchanting table so I can go ahead and add the new one. And then I think you just add this the same way that you add the old one. It does look right. All right, so it looks like we can just edit the enchantments of already enchanted things as well. This is very interesting. Now, what is this little 6 over here? 6 enchantment levels to repair the durability fully? Okay, it did take 6 levels for me, and it does look like all of the durability is refilled. And I guess now we can just like take and remove enchantments by pressing the arrows. Let's do this one together. So let's go sharpness 5 and then knockback 2, and then we don't need spell power. Unbreaking 3, fire aspect 2, looting 3, spell haste we can remove because we don't even have a spell. Spell infinity, I don't need that. Spells are free to cast. I wonder if that means that it doesn't use any runes anymore, but let's add the sweeping edge 3 as well. So 14 XP levels, and there we go. It did take us down to 38, so that is 14, and now our claymore has all of those enchantments on it. Okay, this is kind of a game changer. I guess now we're gonna go ahead and do our silk touch axe. So we'll go efficiency 5, unbreaking 3, and silk touch, and there we can mend it up as well. And let me just do all my tools and my armor really quick. I was hoping to have a little montage here, but I actually just used all of my XP levels on those 3 things. So I guess it's a really good thing that I've had this farm on while I've been building this whole time. So let's go ahead and eat all of these XP nugget experience things. And then this gives us quite a few levels that we can use to enchant again. So I guess now we're back to doing our tools again. Oh, this is interesting. You can actually do your armor right from here. Okay. So unbreaking 3, protection 4, aqua affinity, respiration, multi-roll, grants extra rolls. Well, I do love dinner rolls, so we'll go ahead and get that. And now to do the rest of it. We can mend our tools with the enchanter, but I do want to get mending slapped on everything since we do already have it. My other shovel doesn't have silk touch, so that way I can make mud, but I do want one that does have it. And then we'll go ahead and add mending to that one too, and let's name this one Silky Spoon. And we might as well repair these other 2 tools really quick with our levels. Now, I know you're thinking, Frog, this episode's getting really long, but I do want to actually take this to the next level as well with a spellbinding table. I completely forgot that we could probably enchant our staff, so let's go ahead and do that really quick. Alright, and that looks good. 36 levels gone. Oh, free energy. Challenge complete. Obtain spell infinity enchantment from the enchanting table. I don't have enough bookshelves to actually put around the spellbinding table, but if we buy a bunch now, then we can just go ahead and start placing our spellbinding table, and I think I'm going to do that upstairs. So I'm going to set this up how I saw it in the village, which was basically just like a regular enchanting table. Then we'll place the spellbinding table, and then we should be able to bind spells with this thing. And since I have an arcane wand, I want to look for one that has arcane spells. Holy Book, Rogue Handbook, Tome of the Arcane. That's what I'm looking for. So I think we can just click this. Oh, nice. And then we have a Tome of the Arcane, and then we need to upgrade our spells through here. So we need to get more levels. But luckily for us, levels are no problem. All right, and then we can put our Tome of the Arcane back in here, and then our Lapis, and I want to get this Arcane Beam spell. This says, channels a beam of energy dealing 1 to 1.5 arcane damage every second. Okay, and then it goes in the spellbook slot, and then now we have a number 2 on the bottom there. All right, I do want to test this out, but I'm not going to test it out on an Enderman that has a backpack, because that can be very good stuff. Hopefully it is. No, just some gold in the stasis enchantment. But here's a zombie, so let's hold down 2. Whoa, this is so cool. What? That was amazing. Okay, let's do that one more time to this creeper up here. Wow, all the pain and grief that I've felt from creepers over the years is just evaporating away under this beam of arcane energy, honestly. All right, my shrine tasks are done, the XP farm's done, the enchanting area is done, and we have all new equipment. Don't look at that, Enderman frogcrafting. I have just a couple things left I want to do in this episode, and one of those is to tackle the mud farm. But I did find a tutorial online that I'm going to follow, and I'm going to link that in the description. So I think I'm going to do just a quick time lapse, and when we're done, we'll have a bunch of mud to make a pathway with. Alrighty everyone, I'm back and the mud farm is all finished. It's all working, and if you guys want to check it out, like I said, I'll link it in the description. I tried to keep this building as compact as possible to not stand out too much, and as you can see, it's very, very small. So once again, a huge shout out to Tyralore for making such a compact design. Now on the inside, it's a little bit cramped, I won't lie. This chest is our input chest for dirt, and then this one over here on top of the hopper is the one for wheat. And then right here we make the mud because we've got the mechanical pump pulling in water. And then over here it gets mixed into packed mud, which gets split up, and then some of it gets packed down into bricks and the other ones just go right in through here. So it does like half and half. Now eventually this entire place will be completely packed mud and mud bricks and coarse dirt, but I want to go ahead and grab a bunch so we can just make a simple pathway. This is also a big reason why I wanted an extra shovel that didn't have silk touch on it, so I could still get dirt for the farm. Even though this eventually will all be mud, I still think it's going to be nice to have a pathway until we're ready to switch it all the way out. And I consider our main block to be our packed mud, but I do like to do little like spots of all of the different coarse dirt and the mud bricks as well. And I think this side needs to be thickened up just a tiny bit. And now we can just focus on filling in the entire pathway. Almost completely done here, and I think just some mud bricks here at the end, and that is looking good. Then I want to add some leaves here and a couple of extra decorative bits as well before we get to the very last thing we're going to do today. And that last thing is to add an XP shower over here on the side. We're going to be using these fluid tanks from the Create mod, and we're just going to put a 2x2 3 high, I think. And then this mechanical pump will actually be our shower. And that's going to get powered by this cogwheel eventually, but I do need to go quickly make some more XP tanks, so give me one moment. All right, back with more XP tanks, so let's go ahead and pop those in, and then we're going to go ahead and grab our clutch. And then we're going to go ahead and put this on this cogwheel because this is going to turn on and off the XP shower. So then we're going to go ahead and put a lever next to that. And this lever is going to turn the redstone on and off, as you can see from the light on the clutch. Now to get some power into that, we're going to do a vertical gearbox, which means we're going to have to dig down into here and we're going to cover this up with some dirt because we don't need that hole right there. And then down here, we're going to dig out the space for a water wheel. I know, I always do water wheels, but it's the only thing I understand. So be nice to me, okay? Now with that spinning, we're going to go ahead and connect our shafts up to the top. And now when we turn that on, yep, that is working. But to store our XP, we're actually going to go ahead and put in this disenchanter. And I think if we put it right here, then we can actually see our XP drain. But we're also going to need to pump that into the actual fluid tank. So let's go ahead and get some space around here really quick. Let's get some fluid pipes connected into the bottom of the disenchanter. And then if we put our mechanical pump right here, we can actually power that with a cogwheel. But first, let's get it all connected. And then, yeah, just getting a cog right here should do the trick. And there we go. It is powered. Perfect. It might be a little bit slow, but we should see liquid XP start to fill the tank. And it looks like it's finally going in there. Nice. And now if we want to access the stored XP, we can just turn the lever on and then we get an XP shower, which is just so silly and whimsical. I absolutely love it. Now the other sides of this build are really, really plain, and I'm going to leave them that way on purpose because I don't know what other buildings will eventually be here and I don't want to like decorate a bunch, but this side is definitely not going to have anything on it. So I think adding a couple of these pipes will look really, really cool. All right, and how are we feeling about that? Oh wait, I actually love that. I feel like it adds so much to this side. It also doesn't stand out too much from this angle, but it still looks really interesting over there. Honestly, I'm kind of obsessed with this because it's just so silly. Like, we'll never actually really need this, but it's just kind of fun at the same time. I don't know. In any case, I think that's where I'm going to leave it today, guys. This episode is getting super, super long, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fantasy Island, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye now!